Yeah, I heard Joe Budden's his whole little drama thing he got with Charlamagne, and to me, it's comical. It's comical, and the reason why is because in this instance, and a lot of instances, me and Charlamagne, we agree on a lot of subjects. We agree. When people be like, man, Charlamagne said this, I'll be like, oh, well, you're right. A lot of the stuff we really agree on. We never really have too much of a, we disagree with one another. It's just that he goes too far. And he'll become the social person that's very smart about a subject, then become just an a-hole, just for no reason. It's part of entertainment, part of his character, part of who he is and what he does. And mostly it's all centered around ego. Then when you run into your counterpart that's just like you, and Joe Budden, then, it's like two rams. They just ram in each other's head, arguing over the same thing. Now, the same way Joe Budden, because people be like, why do you say buttons? Because when I say buttons, it sounds more natural than button. I never met a button in my life until this clown showed up. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I digress. Now, the thing of the matter is, the same thing Joe Budden was complaining about, people weren't doing no more, people should have been doing, and he was just giving an honest opinion of something on Drake's Views album. He sit back and can't take the criticism that's coming about his own record from Charlamagne and other people. He can't take it. But he's more offended with Charlamagne because Charlamagne has a larger platform. So he knows if he mentions Charlamagne's name, it's going to carry more weight. But his assessment of the song and what Joe Budden is doing right now is 100% accurate. It's what I've said from the beginning. So it's nothing that's really new. It's something that we know. It's like, we know what you're doing. These fans don't, and they get all excited because they want to see anybody go against Drake or say something to Drake. If somebody say 2 words to Aubrey, it's the greatest thing they've ever heard. Have you noticed that every time somebody says something to Drake, oh, somebody dissing Drake, they get all excited. So no matter what the words are, the song was, Joe can rap. Nobody's going to take that from Joe. Joe Budden can rap. But when you going off without real reason, and to go off on a 6-minute rant, which I said, Joe, the song is way too long. You're doing a good job sunning him, but he really didn't throw nothing out there for you to come so hard, really, and just go out sunning him. And I'm like, the song is alright, but it's just too long. It makes you sound desperate. Like you was so excited to jump out there and do it. So I'm inspired. Now, I already told people from that first video review that this is a guy that came in sounding like Luda. He came through the door making songs sounding like Luda. Then I said he went to the rap rock stuff like Eminem and Lil Wayne. That's where he ended up. Some rap rock guy. But let's talk about the guy in between that. before he became this Kenyon Martin looking dude. He, from the beginning, when he came through, y'all remember? He was looking like Banks. This is a guy came through the door, trimming his little mustache, thinning up, looking like Lloyd Banks because G-Unit and 50 Cent was the biggest thing on the planet. And then he started wearing the baseball cap, all like trying to look like Lloyd Banks. Anybody remember that? Chameleon, man. That he's the chameleon rapper. Then he wants to be a metaphorical freak like Method Man. And Redman. That's how he got his deal. That's why he was on Def Jam. He reminded them of a younger version of Redman. A mixture of Method Man and Redman. That's how they promoted him. Y'all remember that? Y'all probably was too young. Then he's on the introspective level now. Now he's a philosopher. Trying to look like Common. He tried that. So I don't want to go too far in on him, but that just gives you an example of the personalities of this guy and why people like, we don't trust this dude. How could you? It's like, how could you trust this guy? Because you don't know which guy you're going to get. He's an alcoholic, pill popper, dope addict, Instagram woman, stalker. All of these things that I've just stated about him are absolutely true. He will tell you they're true. So my thing is, what drug addicts, pill popping, Instagram stalker could you trust? See. Then he drops a song called Freedom, a freestyle about Black Lives Matter and the recent shootings and all the shootings that's been going on with the police. Why? Because it's a fire topic now. Let me try to get my promotion off using Black Lives Matter. You see, this is what I'm talking about. People try to use Black Lives Matter to capitalize on it for publicity, for them, for something that's pertaining to them. So now it's Joe Budden switches from Drake. Now he's on Black Lives Matter. Now he's talking about something that's on a whole different playing field, so people will give him the attention. He's trying to use the buzz to keep himself relevant by jumping to another trending topic. So, to use that, people died, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not time yet for a song. You know what I'm saying? It's time for people to actually... Song time is over. It's time for, look, we need to sit down with some people that's going to make something happen, some changes. But we're going to start getting these people together to stop boycotting these businesses. You know, that's what needs to happen. They got to make some dramatic changes, like, now. Forget the Oscars. You know, people ain't getting killed over no awards. We need to make some changes right now. Or ain't gonna be nobody left to go back to the chopper. And Charlamagne, you know, the guy, like I said, he go too far. You know, now he likes to tell people how he used to be a drug dealer in South Carolina. I'm like, are you serious? You know, like, dude, stop it. You were not a big time drug dealer in South Carolina. You know, that he was more like the little fat kid with the backpack who they sent off as a dummy, saying, look, man, we gotta take these packages over there. Somebody gotta run it over there. Man, go get that little fat kid over there. Hey, fat boy, bring yourself here. How much you, I'm tell you want to make a Twinkie and $5? Take this package over there to them guys over there. And then you bring the money back here. Okay? Here. Here's $5. Spread that around your friends. Then they respect you. Thanks, Ray Ray. He picking crumbs out his navel, going over there to do a deal, get in the car, put the heat on him, take the bag, be like, get out of the car, little boy. But we're not supposed to get some money? No, take your butt back over there, fat boy. Thanks, Ray Ray. Oh, man. I mean, no one's going to believe that. You know, it's like, stop telling that story. People's like, man, he was a drug dealer, man. He knew. I'm like, anybody probably knew who the drug dealer was in the neighborhood. You can tell anybody. They know who the drug dealers are. But all that, man, yeah, South Carolina, you know, I used selling drugs. Really? It's like, stop trying to use that as some type of street cred for South Carolina. You was working a radio station in South Carolina. This was in 01. You was a fat boy behind the mic on the radio station. So, my thing is, if you was moving so much weight, why'd you leave? Why'd you go to radio? You could have just kept moving weight. See, this is what I'm talking about. People get, their lives become so fascinating because they can create it to try to go any way they want it to go. Like, you never hear no Hercules stories from me, because I wasn't Hercules. My stories was all about me avoiding fights. And every fight, you hear me saying, man, I got out of there. I ran. I got the heck up out of there. I wasn't finna get shot. Oh, I took off. You never hear no Hercules stuff out of me, because I knew better. I know there's people that know me that watch my videos. And the first one be like, man, what you talking about? Man, you know you took off running down the street. I'll be, yeah, I went to my car and I got out of there. Because I have no shame. To me, there's no shame in getting out of danger. Or getting away from danger. See, I don't endanger people's lives. I don't believe in that. I feel like if somebody comes to kick it or hang out with me, I'm responsible for their life just as much as anybody else. Because now they with me, so they my responsibility. I gotta make sure they get home safe, just like they came home with me. If something happened to them, that's on me. Some people don't feel that way. They just think about them. So to diffuse the situation, if I just gotta walk away and somebody else want to talk big, let them talk big. Let them think they got the moment. If that's what they need for their life and their career, like, yeah, man, remember that time in that bar I told that dude off? Man, that felt good. Well, you need to feel good, then congratulations, feel good. That's it. You just feel great. I'll continue to go back and make more money than you, while you go to your job late and getting yelled at by your boss. You see, life is the greatest lesson teacher. That's it. That's all. It schools and basically it humbles the purest, the most biggest soul. We've seen some of the biggest egos crash and fall and burn. We've seen false ego. You've seen Ronda Rousey. You've seen how a false ego can lead to somebody's behind getting just mollywopped. Right? We've seen what happened there. We've seen what happened when all of these so-called greats, they fall from grace. Because people can't accept them being human beings. They have to be more than human because they put themselves on a pedestal. Or the people put them on a pedestal and they try to live up to what the people standards of them is. So as for this Joe Budden's beef with Charlamagne, it's basically Joe Budden's once again ranting at the wall. And ranting to make a show. And he's just going to keep going. But you can say my name, Joe. I don't care. Just say it right. Because I'm coming to dinner.